If you think AI can replace your lawyer, well, you've come to the right place. Every founder right now is using AI to figure out how to set up their company, how to protect themselves, or what terms to push for with investors. But here's the thing, after running hundreds of fundraisers and acquisitions as a startup lawyer, I've watched many founders walk into deals with answers some AI tool gave them that just embarrass them in front of investors and sometimes even cost them the round. Because while Claude or ChatGPT's answers might sound confident, a lot of them are just flat out wrong, or based on terms no investor will accept. So in this video, I'm going to explain everything you need to know about AI when it comes to startup legal work, so you can use it to your advantage without putting your company at risk. AI gives bad legal advice. The most common thing I see founders do is ask AI how to protect themselves from losing control of their company, and AI will confidently give them back a list of terms like super voting shares, multiple classes of stock, board designation rights, and supermajority requirements. And those are all real legal terms, but no VC is going to accept them on a normal early stage company. So if you push for them, the round just doesn't happen. Then you might ask how Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos got those kinds of control terms for their companies, and the answer is, well, they're Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos. That's how they did it. VC negotiations are often about leverage. Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos have a lot of leverage because they have track record, they have hype, they have massive success, so they can demand unreasonable terms and investors are still gonna want to invest in their companies. So if you have a hot company that investors are begging to be a part of, then you can demand terms that are not market standard, like super voting shares. But AI doesn't understand that because it has the information, but it doesn't have the knowledge or market understanding of what investors will actually accept in a real deal. The other big problem is when AI gives an answer that sounds right but is legally wrong. I asked Claude the other day whether a founder needs to be an accredited investor to invest in their own company, and Claude told me yes, they absolutely need to be an accredited investor. Then I sent Claude the SEC regulation that actually defines who counts as an accredited investor, and Claude immediately admitted being wrong. But the thing is, most founders aren't going to know how to push back like that. They're going to take the first answer, build their plan around it, and then only find out it was wrong months later when an investor or another lawyer tells them. And the part that makes this dangerous is the tone, because AI delivers wrong answers with the same confidence that it delivers right ones. So there's nothing obvious telling you to verify the information. By the way, if you'd rather just talk through your specific legal questions with an actual lawyer instead of guessing whether your AI answer is right, click the first link in the description to book a free consultation with me. We'll go through your situation, identify what needs to be handled at your stage to keep your company protected, and I'll give you answers I know are correct from my 10 years of being a startup lawyer. Anyway, back to the video. A lawyer's real job. So now that you know the danger of AI giving you legal advice, I want to explain what a lawyer is actually doing for you in the first place. Because if you think that a lawyer is just merely a document preparer, then yeah, AI can do that faster and cheaper, and you're probably wondering why you'd ever hire a lawyer. But the actual job is closer to a mix of educator, psychologist, and lawyer, all in one. Let me explain. Most of the work happens in the education. It's sitting with founders, walking them through what risks are, what everything means, who should take on what risks, and how things actually get done in their industry. It's helping the founder understand etiquette around fundraising and acquisitions, because the documents are only a part of how a deal gets done. And a lot of it happens in the conversations and the relationship with the investors and the buyers. And a founder who handles those wrong will lose investor trust and walk away with a worse deal. Then there's the part that's closer to therapy than it is law. Typically, a founder comes in confused, overwhelmed, sometimes scared about a decision they have to make, and the lawyer's job is to help them move from confusion to clarity so they can actually decide what to do. It's the same kind of work a therapist does, helping someone get past a mental block so they can actually move on with their life, except here it's applied to a legal or business decision. And this is the exact part where AI tends to make things worse instead of better. Because when a founder is already confused and they ask AI a question, the AI gives them a confident answer that sometimes contradicts what they read yesterday or what someone told them on a call. So instead of getting clarity, the founder ends up with more inputs, more uncertainty, and no way to tell which answer is the one to bet your company on. Where you can use AI for legal. All that said, AI does have its place in legal work, so I want to walk you through where it's actually helpful and where it's not. There's a really popular story right now going around about Fred Wilson, who's a well-known VC at Union Square Ventures. He's a legendary VC, and he recently used AI to close a seed deal without paying his lawyers to do it. He asked his lawyers for a quote on a seed stage investment, and the lawyers gave him a quote of $50,000, which Fred said, "I'm not paying that." So what he did instead is he set up a notebook LM with his entire proprietary deal database and all his previous deal documents as the knowledge base. He uploaded the new deal docs and data room into notebook LM and asked it for a memo outlining the issues, and then used that memo to just close the deal himself. And that story gets told as proof that AI can replace lawyers, but the important detail is that Fred Wilson's a legendary VC. He's done hundreds of these deals over decades. So AI worked for Fred because Fred didn't need a lawyer to think for him. He already has a ton of past experience, past precedent that he used to train his AI on what to look for and how he likes to do deals. And ultimately, the AI just acted as a research assistant essentially, which is a completely different situation from a first-time founder who's using AI to negotiate their first price round, because that founder doesn't have the experience to know whether the issues AI brought up matter, whether AI missed something, or whether the AI is completely misleading them. So for founders, using AI to replace your lawyer like Fred did only works if you have a significant data set of materials to train on and you already know enough about legal to catch it when it gets something wrong. Now for lawyers, AI has become part of how the best firms work day to day. There's tools like Marveri, Legora, and Spellbook that lawyers use to run due diligence on data rooms, organize the documents, and bring up issues like missing signatures, off-market clauses, and outsized legal risks. What used to be annoying manual work, going through every document in a data room, renaming documents, organizing documents, can now be done by AI, which means the lawyer spends their time on the parts of the deal that need judgment, like multi-party negotiations and strategic calls about which terms to fight for. So the right way to think about AI in legal work is that AI handles the manual documents while the lawyer handles judgment. AI is great for organizing data rooms, pulling up standard issues, and putting together a first pass memo on a deal. But the lawyer is the one who understands what's actually happening in the deal between you and the investor, manages those relationships, and tells you which terms you need to push back on based on what they've seen across hundreds of deals. So can AI replace your startup lawyer? The honest answer is no, not yet, and not for the foreseeable future. AI is great for research for founders who already know what they're doing, and it speeds up manual document work for lawyers running due diligence on a deal. But knowing which terms to push back on, what's actually market for your stage, and how to negotiate with the investor comes down to judgment and experience, and AI just can't do that yet. Now, if you're a founder who's been using ChatGPT or Claude to figure out your legal situation and you want answers from someone who's actually done these deals hundreds of times and has the judgment AI doesn't, you can click the first link in the description to book a free consultation with me. We'll look at where your company is today, identify what needs to be handled at your stage, and put together a plan that fits your situation. So again, you can book that free call by clicking the first link below this video. And if you want to know when to hire a lawyer for your startup, then check out this video next.